TV soap news and spoilers say that Fiona's fate has become the burning question on the minds of Days of Our Lives fans everywhere. In recent episodes, viewers have been left stunned by the depth of her deception, the unraveling of her lies, and the explosive drama that now threatens to bring her world crashing down. As the tension builds, fans can't help but wonder, what will become of Fiona? Will justice finally be served, or will her manipulations continue to wreak havoc in Salem? Let's dive into the dramatic storyline that has captivated audiences. As loyal viewers know, the first domino to fall was Sarah's sudden memory recovery, thanks in large part to Eric's persistent encouragement. After weeks of being trapped in the fog of amnesia, Sarah finally pieced together the events leading up to her accident. And with that revelation came a flood of emotions and the truth about Fiona's treachery. Yesterday's episode was a turning point, as Sarah confronted Fiona, forcing her to confess the twisted events that led to Brady being wrongly accused of a crime he didn't commit. Fiona, realizing that the walls were closing in on her, made a desperate confession. She poured her heart out, revealing a deeper, more vulnerable side that fans had never seen before. Fiona confided in Sarah about her loneliness, how she had longed for a family, and how she had finally found some sense of belonging through her son. But her sorrowful tone didn't fool Sarah. Fiona may have admitted that she was drinking the night of the accident, but she still deflected the blame, insisting that Brady was in a worse state than she was and that she only acted out of fear and confusion. As Fiona's guilt began to surface, she recounted the tragic night that changed everything. In a tearful confession, she admitted that she took her eyes off the road for a second, but it was enough to set off a chain of events that would send Brady spiraling into a nightmare. Fiona claimed that she panicked after the accident, especially when she saw Xander approaching the scene. In her mind, Sarah would be safe with Xander's arrival, and so she made the selfish choice to flee rather than face the consequences of her actions. "I thought Brady would get away with it," Fiona cried, explaining how she had never expected Brady to turn himself in or to end up taking the fall for her crime. Sarah, of course, was having none of it. Her anger boiled over as she shouted, "It's not enough to blame Brady for what he did." She wasn't buying Fiona's excuses. The truth was clear. Brady was facing 10 years in prison for a crime he didn't commit, all because Fiona had chosen to cover her tracks rather than come clean. As Sarah confronted her with the harsh reality of her lies, Fiona's desperation reached new heights. In a chilling moment, she realized that Sarah's resolve was unshakable. Sarah didn't care if she herself faced charges for perjury. She was determined to expose Fiona for what she had done. That's when Fiona made a fateful decision, one that would seal her fate. Fiona's once pathetic cries turned into cold calculation as she pushed Sarah's wheelchair toward the stairs, her voice trembling with false regret. "I'm sorry, honey, but I can't let you do that," Fiona whispered, her hands gripping the wheelchair's handles. Sarah's eyes widened in terror as Fiona began to move her toward the edge, all while feigning remorse for the terrible accident that was about to happen. Fiona justified her actions by telling Sarah that no one would ever know the truth. Xander would find Sarah at the bottom of the stairs, and everyone would believe she lost control of her wheelchair. But just as the situation seemed hopeless for Sarah, fate intervened. Xander burst onto the scene in the nick of time, stopping Fiona's sinister plan before it could come to fruition. It was a heart-pounding moment as Xander realized the full extent of Fiona's treachery, his rage boiling over as he confronted her. With Sarah safe and her memories restored, Xander wasted no time in unleashing his fury on Fiona. The man who had once trusted Fiona, who had believed in her despite her faults, was gone. In his place stood a man filled with righteous anger and betrayal. "You will pay for this," Xander shouted, disowning Fiona on the spot. There was no going back from what she had done, and Xander made it clear that there would be no mercy for her. Fiona's tearful protests fell on deaf ears. Her web of lies had finally unraveled, and Xander, who had always protected his loved ones, was now the one leading her to justice. His love for Sarah and his hatred for the deception that had nearly cost her everything were on full display as he vowed to make sure Fiona faced the consequences of her actions. As Fiona was led away to the police station, the once powerful woman who had manipulated those around her now looked broken and defeated. The facade she had maintained for so long had crumbled, and her fate was sealed. Prison, it seems, will be the final chapter of Fiona's story, at least for now. For viewers, it's a bittersweet ending, as Fiona's complex character is one they've loved to hate, but her actions had crossed a line that even soap opera villains can't escape forever. As Fiona faces the consequences of her actions, the question remains, is this the last we'll see of her? While prison seems to be her next stop, soap operas are known for their unexpected twists and turns. Could Fiona find a way to weasel out of her sentence, or will she return one day with a new plan for revenge? Only time will tell. With Fiona's chapter seemingly coming to a close, all eyes now turn to Sarah and Xander. The couple has been through more than their fair share of trials, but this latest ordeal has brought them closer than ever. As they work to rebuild their lives and move forward, fans are eagerly anticipating what's next for this fan-favorite couple. Will they finally find peace, or will new challenges test their love once again? For now, Fiona's fate seems sealed, but in the world of soap operas, nothing is ever truly over. Our TV channel Soap News and Spoilers is the place for those who want to know how the Salem story goes, as well as great Days of Our Lives updates and news. So subscribe to our channel to get what you want. Bye-bye.